So it's that time of year again. Have you ever one of those mornings? One of those mornings where you wake up, you grind some coffee beans, the house is filled with the smell of freshly ground coffee. You pack up your coffee and get ready to put it in the machine. And in that moment, you drop it. And there's coffee grounds all over the place. Like literally everywhere. And then you're sad. I had one of those mornings and things just keep getting better and better. Because you see, I was on my way out here to catch these here Sakura. I'm gonna change that to live chat. And I actually skateboarded out here. And along the way, I took a bit of a slip and there was some damage done. So this morning, something tells me this live stream is gonna go really, really well because everything that's gone wrong, that could go wrong, has already gone wrong. But we're alive, we're doing well. Good morning, everybody. Right now, we are on the outside edge of around Hiro and Ebisu area, and I found this beautiful, beautiful line of trees the other day while I was on one of my bike rides, and figured, you know what? I'd love to bring you guys out here. I rarely come out to this area, but this morning, as I said, skated down from Tokyo Tower just so that we can enjoy this. And as a huge benefit, we got some of the most beautiful weather I think I've ever seen. So nothing but positives here. And this goes on for some time. Today's actually going to be a double live stream. We're going to be doing this live stream here and then a secret behind the scenes hangout and catch up with the Patreon crew on our secret Instagram as soon as we've wrapped up with this one. But I want to kick things off by saying, Cookie Ninja, thank you so much for getting the ball rolling on these super chats. Have a good stream. Well, thank you. I fully intend on it. And Trizac in here every single time saying, just like I say every stream, glad to see you and stay hydrated. Thank you. Thank you very much. After I took a spill on the skateboard, I had to check and make sure I still had everything in my pockets because it was a long distance spill. I probably covered like a whole bunch of meters and even more feet. So it was super exciting. Wish I had it on camera because it felt very acrobatic, but no cameras this time. And Ember in here saying, the sidewalk chose violence. It most certainly did, and I had no choice but to partake. Let's get past the noisy construction, because the noisy construction is noisy. These are real facts. And apparently, they're letting people through. So, okay, I can go. Woo! Oh boy, it's like a treat for your ears. If you're watching with headphones, you're like getting the full immersion experience. And Sarah in here, good morning, Sarah, saying here's to Murphy's Law, more coffee, and beautiful morning. There we go. I'm hoping that old saying of bad things come in three doesn't kill our live stream. Mind you, I'd rather kill the stream than me. So, you know, if I had to choose, I'd probably go with the stream because we can restart that. That got dark. Anyway, Tina, thank you so much for this insanely kind super chat saying, good morning, Norm. Sorry to hear that you took a spill while skateboarding. The trees are looking lovely though. Here's little something towards breakfast or coffee if need be. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And, you know, every year we've got to sneak in the cherry blossoms at least once. And this year I've got some crazy stuff going on that we're going to be enjoying this all together, by the way. that's kind of stopped me from going out and making much, if any, content while the Sakura are going. And Eva is in here saying for better luck the rest of the day and a hot morning beverage. Well, thank you very much. As well as JZM in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying for another coffee on me. I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you so much for that. Look at this. I love these insanely narrow buildings. I never stop loving stuff like this. And Chan, something for new pants fund. Thank you very much. The trick with the pants is finding them, because I own 3 or 4 pairs of the exact same pants that were found at the same shop all across Japan. And every single time I go to the shop, I just buy out the same pants. They're super useful pants with great pockets and comfortability, and they fit and I like them. So thank you so much. So the last, I'll say week and a half, I have been living inside of this super weird schedule for a documentary that I'm living on that has me moving at all hours of the day and night. And I never know when the next scene is going to be recorded. I'll get a phone call at 11 p.m. and they'll be like, now, you got to come now. And I'll have to suddenly grab a car and get out to some other part of Tokyo or Kanagawa or Chiba within like an hour or two of that phone call. And it's slowly starting to come together, but holy cow, is it making for a challenging lifestyle. I am very easily distracted, so when I know that there's a very good chance of some major distraction coming, it makes it even harder to edit. And so I sit there all day waiting for one of these calls, and then one doesn't come. So at night, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna sit down now and get some editing done, and I will sit down to edit. That sounded very hybrid. And then boom, a phone call comes in. So needless to say, it's slightly messing with the other videos that I wanted to get out, but it's also very much worth it, because so far in Japan, it is amongst one of the more unique experiences I've had. And it's a type of people that I didn't even know existed. So that's all I'll say about it. But it's exciting and fun, for me at least. I didn't realize that these type of people were real or actually existed, and now I get to make a documentary about it. And I know when I say it that way, it sounds like it's ninjas, but it's not ninjas. I promise you that it's not ninjas. So how is everybody doing today? Right now we are pretty close to the back streets of Ebisu area, and this street here continues on almost, I'd say, most of the way down towards Shibuya. So we might even go that far today. For an upcoming project / change in life, I'm looking to grab a new jacket and some new clothes that I'm gonna need. I may be temporarily leaving Tokyo for a while in the near future. And Nosh abroad, keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying for the ninjas or not. Thank you, Nosh. Really appreciate it. Because I live in central Tokyo, I don't really need a car per se, usually. I can just take trains everywhere, and I've got great train access. But when you're doing a project like this, you do need a car. And parking in my area starts at about $500 a month. And if I wanted to park at my building, I'm looking at closer to about $680 to $750 a month. So I don't have a car, because that's crazy. That's bonkers. I honestly, even if I could afford that, which who can, I probably would not get a car because, like, what else? Imagine all the other stuff you could do with that money. And so, ooh, dry ice. It's cool, bro. And I instead use rental cars and car share for everything. So having to run out 3-4 times in a week can add up really quick, especially when it's a multi-month project. So thank you so much for that. And Slices of Japan, still by far a year later. Can you believe it's been a year since you started commenting and I started saying how much I love the name Slices of Japan? In here saying, hey Norm, here's something for a cup of morning coffee in an effort to brighten up your morning after your recent events. Haha. Keep it up. You're doing great. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you've been following along on the adventures on the TOKYOLENS channel, you will know that recently Kiki, the two shamisen players that I work with, and I went out to the area of Mount Fuji and we rented out a torii gate. Now, no spoilers, but spoiler, it ended terribly, but we still had a great time. The whole story is up on TOKYOLENS. If you want to go check that out, you are free to go check that out. And I'm like hiccuping. Why am I That's not legal. That was, if you go back a few seconds, there's a dude who just got like his like little one stuck to him on the back. Not legal. So yes, Slices of Japan, thank you so much for that. As well as Tiana, go ninja, go ninja, go, go ninja, go ninja, go. That brings me back so much. I want to make a mix of it. It's just such a good song. Oh, the 90s. How great and terrible they were at the same time. Have any of you seen that show, The Toys That Made Us? I am telling you, I binged almost that entire show, every single episode of it, in like a single weekend. And it changed my view of the world so much. Like, you're like, oh wow, I was a really, really dumb, oblivious kid. And I'm kind of okay with the fact that I was a dumb, oblivious kid, because those, wow, just I can see, like, there are some different like conspiracy theories out there, and obviously none of this was a conspiracy. It was all very obvious to the point where they can make documentaries about it. But when you're a kid and you don't know how the world works at that level, and then you grow up and you see it for the first time and you finally get a more clear picture of it, it can slightly break your brain for a minute. So yeah, I can see why people are like, conspiracies, like hikoki gumo or contrails. Oh, I laugh so hard. Like, science dictates the existence of contrails, which are the airplane clouds, I guess you would call them. The lines of white cloud that come out of an airplane. And I'm not going to get into the science of it, but there's a clear logical explanation for it. But there's a whole world of people, probably the same people who believe that the earth is flat, who honestly believe that contrails are some like government conspiracy, and it's either to like control the weather or control people's minds and all this other stuff, and it's hilarious. Also, another set of videos that I did too big of a binge on. Look at this area. Whew. I tend to not have a ton of time to consume content. So when I do, it tends to be in binge format, which is very unhealthy, really, in so many ways. But I think we all know a good binge is a ton of fun. I always say it, but if you ever do a binge of TOKYOLENS, always leave me a trail of comments along the way so I can hang out with you. I always enjoy that. And then we get to kind of know each other, and I get to like see what you've seen, and maybe you'll remind me of an old video I haven't looked at in a while, and I always enjoy those. So, whew. All right. we're gonna go up this way, and it's gonna be crowded and fun. So I didn't realize till I did the stairs, but my knee is in severe pain from that tumble. And this here is the area of Ebisu. So there we go. That's Ebisu. And we're gonna continue on down to Shibuya. But I just like this view, so we're gonna enjoy this for a second. And Monique, thank you for keeping that super chat ball rolling. I love that. Look at the train out there. I love cherry blossoms. Thank you for doing this. Keep hydrated. Thank you very much. And Joe Howe, also keeping the super chats rolling, saying, hey Norm, finally able to make a live stream. Whew, due to catching COVID. Ow, sorry to hear that. There are positives in everything. Hopefully it hasn't hit you too hard and you're feeling okay. You'll recover soon. And apparently this is called the Shibuya Bridge. Never knew. I actually come up here and hang out and take photos every now and then, just because I can. But I usually come down from around that area. I loop around from Tokyo Tower and come down this way. So, yeah. Let's head on down. I really, really, really wish that the YouTube app would give us the opportunity and ability to use the wide camera. It's the one thing that I liked about Streamlabs, aside from the 1080p streams. I want 1080p, like, come on, we've got 5G now. We've got 5G, it's installed in our bodies. LOL. But I really want the ability to use that wide lens and 1080p on these streams just natively through the YouTube app. So if any of you work at YouTube, please and thank you. Sweet Archangel, good morning. Please, no jaywalking today. Honestly, with my knee in the state that it's in now, I don't think I would make it across the road without getting squished. So yay. So last 2 months ago, February is the month that I'm referring to. So that's like, it's technically last month, but it feels like 2 months ago. I had to go back to Canada. I had to go back to Canada. And in the midst of having to go back to Canada, I reached out to 2 companies who helped me out pretty big. One was Tokyo Treat, one of like my main sponsors. And they were insanely kind, and I will spare all the details. But honestly, the trip back to Canada would have been a heck of a lot more difficult if it wasn't for their assistance. So Tokyo Treat has my love and my respect just because of how they just came together. Like, everyone worked as a team and just helped me out all within like a couple hours. And I'm sure they had other work to do, but it was amazing. And the other ones that helped me out was actually the very first company that I ever worked with on TOKYOLENS, which is the iVideo. Remember these guys? The iVideo Wi-Fi? They're the Wi-Fi that I use for the streams and whatnot. But recently, apparently eSIMs are a thing. I didn't have time to get a physical SIM card. Also, none of this is sponsored, by the way. I'm just in storytelling mode. I didn't have time to get a physical SIM card, and they hooked me up with this thing called an eSIM, which wasn't great, but it worked. Canada doesn't have a lot of great connectivity. So yeah, eSIMs, where you don't have time to get a physical SIM card and you just program the number or whatever into your phone, is apparently a thing that also iVideo has, a service I didn't know they had. And I wanted to share that because everybody but me probably knows, but I had no idea. I reached out and I was like, can you get me a SIM card in a couple hours? And they were like, no, we can't, but we could get you an eSIM. And I learned new stuff. So if you ever need an emergency sim, look into eSims, and you get one if you're coming to Japan or wherever. I don't know. Now you know. I didn't know, and I'm happy to know. So, and that is story mode. Done and dusted. Look at this. Little 7-Eleven mobile. 7&I Holdings. It's a beautiful day here in Japan. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna let these guys walk in front because I don't know if the mic was picking them up, but they were all my ears could hear. And Silver in here saying, take care of your knee. Had a recent knee injury and learned the importance of healthy knees. Also, hope everyone in the chat has a good day. Silver, you know how to get me every single time. Giving love to all the other people watching, hanging out with people in the chat, saying hello. Love it. So, there we go. Ebisu Station. We've actually walked quite a bit. Ebisu Station was that way, and then we are walking down this way towards Shibuya Station. And Clint Beaver's in here saying, I recognize the area. Can't wait to return when the country reopens. Loved the Shamisen music video. Glad you enjoyed it. It was a really beautiful space, and the girls played a brand new song for that one. So let's take some of the back streets, because some of the back streets over here in the Ebisu area are amongst my favorites, to the point where we might just come out and do like a nighttime live stream walk in this area, completely independent of any cherry blossoms or sakura or any of that. And also PJ Busby, am I saying that right? I hope I'm saying it right, is in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, hey Norm, love your content. Ever thought about doing something on Shibori? No, not really. I'm not closed to any ideas. So it all depends if the right story comes along. That is everything. Thank you for the idea. And DM Cause in here saying, seeing this is a Sakura themed live stream, what is your favorite Sakura theme or flavored snack? I don't have a particular one because unfortunately, especially with the seasonal stuff, it all changes so quickly that you might not get the exact same Sakura themed snack next year that you got this year. And I came over here because usually this area is painted with a ton of graffiti and is very visually appealing, and they've covered all the graffiti. So, yay. Thanks, guys. So, yeah, DM Cause, I know that might be a slightly anticlimactic response to your beautiful super chat, but that is where we stand. Changes up every single year. So over here, we're getting closer to the train tracks. I don't even know what train that is. That's Captain Blueberry. That is the name of that train. I like him. Have a good day, Captain Blueberry. You will be missed. If you haven't done so already, give the like button some love. Let's see if we can. We got like several hundred people watching, so let's see if we can spike this up to 250 likes in the next minute or two. So over there is Ebisu Station, and out this way with all that construction in the background, that is Shibuya Station. That is the land of the Shibs. We'll loop back to the Sakura Street in a second. We got some more cherry blossoms over here as well. We're almost there. Woo! This is about the fourth or fifth time that I've attempted to do a live stream in the last 2 weeks. And then that documentary that I'm working on will just suddenly pull me up. I'm actually nervous right now to be doing this live stream because there's always a slight chance that in the middle of this stream, I could get a call that would destroy the stream, and then I would have to go. But there's a car and a train. Car, train, car, train. That's what we do in Tokyo. We do car, train, and then there's this little Tokyo car thing. Yay. Pickles. Is anybody? Don't do it. Don't do it. They're trusting you. Why would you break their trust? It's terrible. We're gonna go down this way. Why is it parked there? Because there's no... Okay, so... See this? See that, guys? I mentioned this before in our Shimokitazawa live stream. But Japan has this secret little hidden subculture of people sleeping in their cars. Typically early in the morning. You don't usually see it all the way up to this time. Escaping their families and kids in the morning. And you can go out anywhere, like 4 a.m.-ish to usually about 8 a.m. There are parking lots all throughout Tokyo filled with workers who are just sleeping in their cars. In great numbers, more often than not. Sometimes entire construction crews will come out early and just sleep in their cars. So, fun stuff, fun facts. And Daniel giving that super chat ball rolling. Thank you, Daniel, saying, Norm, can't stick around. Just wanted to say, been a huge help for me emotionally going to have to wait another 2 years before moving to Japan. It's been hard to accept. Honestly, as somebody who's not great with accepting change myself, especially when I've locked onto something, when I'm ready to go, I can really empathize with how stressful that's got to be when you think your life is heading in a certain direction and then suddenly it's not, or suddenly it's delayed or postponed or anything like that. So you have nothing but my empathy, and I wish you all the best. I hope that these little streams and whatnot can continue to be a bit of a help for anybody in that type of situation. So thank you kindly for that super chat, as well as Craig here keeping the super chat ball rolling, saying, enjoying the stream. It's good to see you in high spirits. Also testing out a bottle of rum that just might have to come along when the border reopens. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You know that you and me'll meet up at a park somewhere, have a drink for sure. Still gotta thank you for that lens that I use here in Tokyo. Which, does that mean that it's the real Tokyo lens? I guess we'll never know. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Shibuya stream. Because Shibuya Station is right up in this direction. So that is what we're gonna do. I wonder if these mark height. That one says 68. The previous one said 70. That one's 67. Each one looks like it's lower than the last. That looks like it would be about right. If you haven't given the like button some love yet, I 100% invite you to do so now. Let's see if we can't pump that up to, I don't know, 300 plus likes. I think we can. I think you know what to do. And I think that my knee hurts, but it's totally worth it. Look at this. So this is the Shibuya River, which is exactly as lovely as a river with the name Shibuya River would be, because it's a river in Shibuya. 63. That one's pretty low. I don't know though. That doesn't feel like it's 63. I don't know. From where? Wow, those likes really spiked. You guys did it. You impressed me. It's impressive. All right, look at all the garbage trucks. Convoy. That is literally a convoy of garbage trucks. Look at this. Why am I not surprised of all the trash coming out of Shibuya? That sounded way more negative than I meant it to. That was not intended that way. Oh, what? That is just all the garbage trucks right there. All of them. I just mean that Shibuya is a super crowded area. So. And how do they know who's going to stop where? It's like they have a route or something. All right. We're going to walk over this way. Once upon a time, there was a way. And I think there still is. You see, when you know Tokyo, you get to explore all the hidden back streets and see people do cell phone modeling. All right. So, I don't want to wait for the light. So if we come here, there's a tunnel that we can go through. Because secrets are secretive, and that's what we do. I'm in a jingle mood today, in case you haven't noticed. Also, there is a ofuro here, a sento. So, slices of Japan, keeping that super chat ball rolling. Thank you so much for that, slices. Super, super appreciated. We got a vending machine here. I've kind of fallen in love with these lattenistas. And there's our tunnel. Secret tunnel, secret tunnel. Probably gonna cut out the signal. There we go. And poke our head out so we don't get squished. But I knew that was gonna happen. You could hear it. Whew. And May in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, this is the first time I catch a stream. I always watch your video and love your vibes. Well, May, thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. I love that you always watch. And I also enjoy the vibes because they're fun to make. Yeah. I just kind of like the sign. That's it. No deeper meaning. I see. And this one's 59. They're all numbered. I will say, though, that since we stopped using the Streamlabs app, things have stopped going to total crap. That wasn't meant to rhyme, but it does every time. And now we're Dr. Seuss, searching for Canada Goose. All right, I'm actually avoiding the main streets just because they're so crowded and noisy. And I promised Backstreets in this video. So what would the promise of Backstreets be without actual Backstreets? I got a comment the other day on one of the live streams that slightly broke my heart. It's not my first time to get it, and it most certainly won't be the last. But a couple months back, I did a stream with Chris in Sendai, and the comment on this stream said, well, look at you beeps, just loving not having any of us other foreigners or tourists in Japan. It's like you've got the entire country to yourself. It's disgusting that you're so happy to have us all gone. And that breaks my heart, A, because if you watch the stream, you know that we actually talked in that stream about the exact opposite. It's nothing but negatives for us at this point, that people can't get into the country. It makes it so much harder to make content. It can be demotivating, heartbreaking, and stop us from wanting to run events and things that we would want to do and everything like that. Like, there is a live stream that I desperately want to do, but I need you guys to be in the country for it. I need to have, and we're down to 42 and 41. Maybe there's space markers. But I desperately need to have you guys in, yes, I tripped, the country for this live stream concept to actually work. The same with, there's 1 or 2 videos that I can't wait to do that I need you guys in the country for in great numbers, as well as events like our Patreon boat hangouts that we're going to be doing and whatnot. Definitely need you guys physically in the country for that. So I just want to say, on behalf of myself and every content creator that I know personally, we miss you guys a lot. We definitely miss having people in Japan. It's quieter than you would ever want it to be. And it feels kind of weird and lonely and dystopian. And I miss being able to just go to certain places and know that we're gonna run into travelers and tourists and everything like that. And Tokyo misses you, and so do we. And I really hope that that person watches this stream and knows that I'm sorry that you feel so much stress that you feel that way, but we love you, and I definitely miss you and want you in the country here with us. And this officially confirms that they're not height markers. They're some form of distance marker. So that's a thing. But with that being said, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in here. And Tiana in here with a super chat saying, my neighbor decided now at 8 p.m. to start hammering the walls. Now she gets to hear the live stream louder than before. Hello, neighbor, hammering the walls. I hope you're enjoying your hammering. It's a beautiful day for hammering. And DM Cause saying, maybe if you find number 1 stone square, you'll win a prize. I feel like we might. I feel like it's not entirely, it's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's Tokyo version, because it's all cement. And Diane in here. Hey Diane, how's it going? Saying, hey Norm, your content always makes my day. Thanks for being an awesome person. I appreciate the effort you put into the positivity and shine. We talked about it a million times. It just comes down to being a muscle that you gotta exercise. This is actually one of the nicest spots of the Shibuya River. And I was gonna be like, oh, and there's Sakura petals floating in it. There isn't. Those are not Sakura petals. Those are river bubbles. That's just river bubble. But again, this area is really nice when it's sunny out and with a wide lens. And Tokyo Paul live, how's it going, man? Please have a drink. Norm, Tokyo Paul 100% will do that. Thank you very much. And Robert Dockery in here with a very important question along with the super chat. Thank you so much, Bob. And Bob's super chat says, hi Norm, how's your supply of Welch's fruit snacks holding out? Need a care package? Okay, Bob, I'm gonna come clean with you. So when I went back to Canada recently, there were about 3 items that I had time to grab at a drugstore before I left. And one of them was a giant box of Welch's fruit snacks, which I left in my brother's car. So the short answer is my supply of Welch's fruit snacks is very low. And I would love that. Thank you very much. I think we've lost our markers. Has anybody else seen any markers along the way? I haven't. We are markerless. Let's go up here. These look super fancy. I have again been invited to do an online participation for North Carolina's Animazement this year. A couple years back, we did it live and in person, brought Kiki there, and and got to meet a lot of people and hang out with some people too. And then last year we did the event remotely, and I did an exclusive live stream in Shibuya, which I rarely to never do. Explored Shibuya at 4 o'clock in the morning for the event. And we'll go not this way. Yes, we will go this way. And this year I've been invited once again to participate in Animazement, and we're gonna have a great time with it. I just need to decide what we're gonna do. Look at all the lonely people. Do, 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 do. So many people. And it's magical to think just a moment ago we were right down there. Wow. Am I allowed to say like a magic? I feel compelled to say it, but it also at this point feels like copyright infringement. So we're gonna pause on that for now. But there is a spot. Wow. I did a video with my 360 camera where I came riding through there on my bicycle and went over the other way. And a lot of this wasn't here at the time. So it's crazy to see. And Say Pinecone, how's it going? Saying, love catching your live streams. It's always a good time to be hanging out in the chat, seeing the Backstreets at hidden places. Grab a vending machine drink and stay hydrated. I should swing by a vending machine soon. 100%. Boat outing for Animazement. You see, I would love to do a boating live stream, and we may very well do that at some point. But I realized that the boating takes so much of my focus that I don't trust I'd be able to do a live stream at the same time. I don't trust I'd be able to manage the camera, look at any comments, do any of that safely while boating. So if I can figure out that little puzzle, then perhaps maybe bring somebody along to manage the camera and read out comments and whatnot to me. The day that I shot the video of Tokyo's hidden waterways was kind of an insane day. I had rented that boat for 6 hours that day. 6 hours, and it all just flew by in an instant. In the blink of an eye, the entire thing was done. And every single time that I needed to record a scene, it took more focus than I think I'm actually capable of. So definitely got to bring somebody along to manage the camera and read out comments and everything. And then maybe we can do a boating stream. And Monique is saying, fun for liniment and medical patches for your knee. Take care. Thanks very much. One of my goals for today is going to be trying to find a local tailor who can fix up my pants with a patch and not make it look terrible. So might even add some padding to it for future falls. Patches for falls in the future. I always thought that if I didn't create videos for a living, I'd probably be a jingle writer or a truck driver because I like driving, or a Gundam because Gundams are cool. Yeah, if I wasn't a video creator, I would definitely be a Gundam. It's good to set your goals high. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't achieve your dreams. If you want to be a Gundam, you be a Gundam. Doesn't matter how many institutions they put you in, you be a Gundam. And this is like a super famous Wiggly Street for Sakura here in Shibuya. It's called the Shibuya Sakura Wiggle. That's it. If you look at it on Google Maps, Shibuya Sakura Wiggle, this is what you'll find. I wonder if you would actually find this by looking that up on Google Maps. Also, Chan in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, do you know if a foreign boat license can be used in Japan? 100% no, it cannot. Unfortunately, it has to be a Japan registered boat license. And then additionally, when it comes to certain areas like Tokyo and whatnot, new qualifications and training, there we go, are required just for the Tokyo area, because different waterways in Japan have different laws. And one of your jobs as the captain of a boat is to know which areas and which waterways have separate laws and get your additional certifications in those areas. So, unfortunately, pleading ignorance is not an acceptable excuse when it comes to waterways and boats and whatnot. But they will only recognize a Japan issued boating license for use in Japan. So that's kind of crappy. Why? Okay, you don't often see big old Hummers in Tokyo. You do every now and then. And when you're in a street that's this wide, it's not really that bad. But there we go. That's a peek at the Sakura Wiggle. This actually might be my first time seeing the Sakura Wiggle in full bloom. So if you're ever gonna give this this live stream some love, hit that like button. Maybe smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on. I think that the Sakura Wiggle should probably be a fairly significant moment to enable you to do that. Give you a moment to look back at and be like, you know what? I remember hitting that subscribe button when we were under the cherry blossom trees and it was so beautiful. Giving that like button some love, you know, hanging out. I'm having way too much fun with this. And Philippe is saying, what's up? Me and my brother. Axe in Portuguese. Love your content. Thank you guys so much. Much love and shout out from Portugal. Hope to be able to visit one day. Hope so as well. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But in 720p though. Yeah, it's in 720p. Congratulations for being able to read numbers. I think that's spectacular. You should be very, very proud of that. We're using the live stream app from YouTube because it's simple. It enables us to do live streams rather than not having any live streams. So we've tried the 1080p thing, and honestly, it's hit or miss because the internet doesn't like all that data. So look at that. We got a nice view coming here. Super quiet Tesla coming down here. Couldn't even hear it. Almost got squished. There's a view for you. Nothing says 2022 like a Tesla driving down a Sakura street that is sadly devoid of non-Japanese tourists. Like, imagine how many of you would probably be here right now and we'd be running into each other and probably swinging by a kombini and grabbing some drinks, and this whole live stream would be wild and crazy and a ton of fun. Like, in due time. And for those who, like, I'll say it super duper clear. For those who struggle with the stress of the quality, there's nothing that we can do. Honestly, it is what it is, and you enjoy it or you don't. And either way is okay. But I'm gonna start muting comments about the resolution, and I think I'm just gonna block the numbers 720p or the like, you know, low quality or any of those, because when it was in 1080p, it kept freezing the live streams and people didn't enjoy that. And we all voted And it was about a 90% lean towards 720p is better because at least we get the streams. So 720p it is. To all of you enjoying it, thank you. To all of you not, there are other pieces of content in higher quality. So if you don't have it in 720, you can click 720 and go up. Also, we got some Sakura right here. Look at that. And while we're looking at this Sakura, I'm gonna read off some super chats here because these are beautiful. Amber saying, so on iron patches as TOKYOLENS merch wouldn't be a terrible idea actually. And Chris Yamagata in here, always with the insanely and kind super chat saying, hi Norman everyone, thanks for awesome content. Chris, thank you so much. And Donut the Wise is in here keeping the super chat all rolling saying, for the wiggle. There we go. The signal, unfortunately, it's the nature of live streams, right? The signal's gonna be good sometimes and spotty other times, and it's just the nature of the beast. We just kind of gotta enjoy what we get from it. I, for a while, had so much anxiety about the live streams that I had actually considered just tossing in the towel on the TOKYOLENS Explore channel because I was like, I want to be able to do them in really high quality, but I can't. And then everyone was like, no, forget the quality. We just want to enjoy the streams. Let's hang out. And so that's what we're doing. And Michael saying we need a Tokyo Hanami by boat. I 100% agree with you. Unfortunately, all boats for the Hanami season booked within, I think it was like 28, 29 seconds of the reservation opening up. So Hanami by boat very quickly became not an option. And I literally had a team of several people sitting and waiting, trying to land reservations for boat Hanami. And honestly, the whole thing just went to full within seconds. It wasn't even half a minute, and it was all just full craziness. So, sorry about that, guys. This year might not be an option. Maybe next year, a different area. Whew. Boats sell like hotcakes. The thing is also there's not that many boats. There's not a ton of boats and boat availabilities. There's a very select number of marinas who are doing all of this as well. So in the end, yeah, it's tough on a usual schedule, even just getting like a normal boat. I usually end up having to wait for last minute cancellations to get a boat at all. Holy, what a monstrosity. Like this stuff wasn't here a couple years back and this street looked so different. And now this is what it looks like. And that's absolutely bonkers. Just craziness. Gonna head down here to a really popular photo spot. I'm gonna show you guys that. And as we head down there, Pied Piper. There we go. I read it right. Like, Norm, glad to catch a live stream again. Personally, I like the streams more for listening. Aw, thank you so much. I like to take us to visually spectacular places whenever I can. But I think the really visually spectacular places moving forward will have to be balanced out, maybe a short stream and then like a longer dedicated walk in 4K, because when we did the Gujo Hachiman area, for example, it's a beautiful, beautiful space, but I had walked away from that going, I would have loved to be able to look back at that in better quality because it was out in the countryside. And it 100% looked like I streamed the entire thing from a potato. So, slip back here. This building here is an insanely popular photo spot. And let's punch those likes to about 500 likes. I think we can do it. We're just a couple away. Let's see if we can't get there in the next minute or two. And these loop scooters. Okay, so here's a fun fact. Let's go off into the side. Japan has finally done the scooter thing lately. And you'll notice a few things. Like the mirror, as well as the license plate and the brake lights. And in Japan, this counts as a 50cc or under motorized bike. And so a license plate and everything is required. You also have to have a car license to like own one of these and get it registered and to ride these. They can't be ridden on the sidewalks. They have got to be ridden on the roads, and they're pretty heavy duty. I've seen these in other countries, but oh boy, are they heavy duty. Like this bike is more chill than that scooter. So, but they have to be ridden on the street. They have to be registered. They require a light and a horn. They're pretty serious. And unfortunately, they're completely useless here in Japan because the system for them, there was a share bike system that came out years ago, and the share bike system has monopolized, there we go. There's the photo spot. The share bike system has greatly monopolized a lot of the area around stations. So there are next to no availability for those scooters near stations. And if you're going to use a scooter, you'd probably want to use it to go from your house to a station, for example. Let's cross here and try not to get squished. And get into the back streets, because that's what we're going to do. Get into the back streets. That car is green like a booger. And wow, we smashed that 500 like thing, so it's actually, now I kind of like the car. Damn it. This area here, there used to be like a whole set of exploration beside the train lines and everything, but again, so much is changing in Shibuya so quickly that I haven't been back here in absolutely forever. And if you look at this here and the slant that we're on, most of the area that I live in around Tokyo Tower is very much like this, which makes my preferred method of transportation, the skateboard, either impossible one way or deadly the other. Whereas back when I lived in the Asakusa area, the vast majority of the area was flat. So you could get 20, 30 minutes in any direction. Whew, we really gotta do some turning without ever having to encounter a hill. Whereas central Tokyo near Tokyo Tower is actually built up on top of, some might even call it a little mountain. It's a huge hill area. And because of that, it's not super conducive to skateboards and bikes and all of that. So those are my words. I'm trying to mentally manage where we are and the direction and that dude on the rooftop up there. So skateboards on hills go from fun to scary in a matter of seconds. They really do. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Has no safety gear at all. I really hope that he doesn't fall. Come on. Please hold on to something. All right. This way. Let's go this way. Getting closer to the route that I wanted to take. Whew. And I definitely wore too many layers this morning. Today was suddenly really cold. The weather has been really up and down lately. Every year when Sakura hits, I talk about how one of the unfortunate things about Sakura season is the Sakura get into full bloom And then we get a bunch of days like this, or worse, with a ton of rain. And you see, at the beginning of spring, there's a very strong wind that comes through called Haru Ichiban, the first of spring, I guess is a direct translation. And it comes through, and you can always tell when Haru Ichiban has hit if you've like been inside all day or haven't gone out for a couple days, like somebody who edits all the time. Because you'll go outside and there are umbrellas, trash, and bicycles everywhere, all over the place. And unfortunately, if that really strong wind hits right after the Sakura trees blossom, it strips the trees. So you already typically only get 2 to 3 days, maybe, of peak Sakura where it's really beautiful. But it's also not uncommon to have that then instantly stripped, or to have the temperature drop way down, or rain to fall. And it's one of the challenges of the Sakura season, but it's also one of the things that kind of makes it beautiful and interesting. So it seems like there's a bouldering gym over here in this office building, and they're working on it. Crazy. Dude's like, oh, better put on my mask. You're good, man. You're good. You're good. Nobody knows who you are. You got your anonymity. And Roach Fire. Did I Rosh Fire? I don't know which it is. I hope I didn't say it wrong. Thank you. Is in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, hi, Norm. Love your content and the positive vibes. Been such an inspiration for my own adventuring. And the Sakura in Japan today. Look beautiful. Take care. Keep doing what you do. Thanks so much. Over the next couple of weeks, with some of the really amazing things that we've got on going right now, from documentaries to upcoming adventures to the potential temporary move out of Tokyo, there's a lot going on in the near future, and it's all positive and exciting. And they really squished all that kanji together, saying, please don't park here. Don't leave your bikes and whatnot here. But they really, that is the most Why is it so, do they expect you to look at it from above? No, that doesn't do it. Feels like one of those eye things as a kid where you look at it from one way or another way and it says different stuff. But there's been a lot of up and down at the beginning of the year. The year got off to a really interesting start, which means there's nothing but up from here. And more of our scooters. If I could mount the gimbal on here and like rent a scooter, we could probably die knowing my luck today. So we're not even gonna try, because I don't wanna die. And moving on. But with all the up and down that we've had lately, so super curious. This guy looks like his scooter is electric, but that it doesn't have a registration number or any of that. And so the thing with that is the police are bound to stop him at some point. They've been doing a really hard crackdown lately on that. And it's one of the reasons why I rarely to never use my electric skateboard in Tokyo anymore unless it's right around my neighborhood. Because you get in trouble, because it's technically an under 50cc motorized vehicle that requires registration. And I'm not going to put a rear view mirror and brake lights on my skateboard. I'm just not going to do it. That's ridiculous. We'll go down this way just because it's a narrow street. TOKYOLENS musical, anyone? Haha. Whew. So when we wrap up this live stream, I'm actually going to be doing a catch up and hangout and Q&A with the TOKYOLENS Patreon crew over on our secret Instagram. We're going to be doing that entire thing live and hanging out. Everything except for the bottom tier of Patreon has access to that and our Discord hangouts and everything. I've been chatting a lot lately about the upcoming changes and adventures, and it's been a really busy little while. So I thought that, you know what, today we'll do a full hangout and continue it kind of Q&A style over there when this live stream wraps up. So we do this kind of thing semi-often, to be honest, but it's been a while since I've done this one. So if you want to come out, that'll be starting in about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes after this live stream wraps up. So this is your official invitation to get in and get your request submitted to the secret Instagram account. If in the case that you don't get it in on time, we'll be doing another one fairly soon in the next week or two. Again, it's like a follow-up. I like to pair them up in case people miss the first one, but I did want to give you guys a heads up. When the live stream finishes here, it will continue with a hangout and a Q&A. So if you want to get to know each other better and spend some time and hang out, this is your invite to come and join us. And this is the area over here. Goes all the way down that way. The old TOKYOLENS studio, not TOKYOLENS, Tokyo Creative Studio is down in that direction behind us. And there we go. Finally, somebody on one of the loop scooters. Having to maintain the rules of the traffic law and go in the right direction and everything. And Amar is asking, where do we join? That is patreon.com/TokyoLens. The mod crew has actually been dropping the link in the chat, and there is a link to it in the description box. So, and when you join, you get like an email that gives you a bit of an instruction thing on how to join the secret Instagram and whatnot. If you follow those directions, then you should get in pretty quick. If you don't, then it tends to take an extra day or two. But look at the graffiti here. It's just a beautiful little space. We're gonna walk up this way. Just feels very Tokyo Backstreet, doesn't it? Yeah, the train's over here. Woo! Look at that. And the ninja. And a bus, which I almost called a boat. I was about to be like, look, a boat! Train on the water, boat on the tracks. That's not my song, by the way. It's copyright infringement right there, 100%. I really want to go up there, but I know I shouldn't, so I won't. This is the kind of area, like the kind of building that I want. It was like my office, like a terrible building. If I were to ever get an office, it would definitely be in a terrible space like this. And I thought that was bamboo, but it's not bamboo, it's just a tree. So, with that being said, we got the Yamanote line coming over here. Woo. Look at that. Oh. Train spotting all the way. You know what? Let's go do some train spotting on that bridge up there and try not to get squished along the way. Because taxis have zero chill. Oh. See, this here definitely not legal. They're going the wrong way on a one-way road. So now a lot of people just don't know the rules yet, because you see a scooter and you're just like, yay, scooter. But also when you register for the app, you have to take a mini course that walks you through the legalities and what you can and can't do with the scooters, where you can ride, where you can't ride, all of that. So it shouldn't be that difficult for most, but there's definitely a cool car under there. 100%. Not the Rubicon, dude. The other one. What? It's like a car, but it's a bike? That's the Batmobile hidden under that black thing there. Did you guys see that? If you missed it, go back and take a peek. We 100% found like the Bat bike hiding under a black tarp. Now, I know exactly where Batman is hiding his bike. So if I want to be Batman, all I have to do is steal the bike, because I'm pretty sure the bike ownership, if you take the bike, then you are the Batman. It's kind of like Thor's hammer, you know? Like there's nothing other than the technology and the money that really makes Batman super duper simple, you know? Sure, he spent a few more hours in the gym, but the dude, if you take his stuff, then you become him. So essentially, if you want to be Batman, you just go back there to that address, take that bike, it's probably loaded with money anyway, and boom, you're Batman. Congratulations, I have given you a formula for success. Whether you choose to follow it or not is entirely on you. I cannot be responsible for your choices in life. I can only lay out a path like this in front of you. That is all I can do. Look at that. Possession is 9/10 of the law. I don't think that's actually like a real thing, but it's funny when you put it that way. Just as we get up here, all the trains disappear, except for this one, because he's our friend. Yeah, you know, there's people in the comments saying the real Batman will hunt you. You're probably right. But then again, if you just figure out on what part of the bike he hid the air tags, because for all the fancy technology that's available today, I'll bet you dimes to donuts that it doesn't compare with just how smoothly an air tag works. So he's probably just got the Bat bike filled with air tags. It's my guess, not sponsored. And on that note, I am gonna wrap it up here. So again, come on over and join the other stream if you are interested and willing. Don't forget to give this video some love in the comments. When everything wraps up, I will be checking out the comments later. So at the very least, let's hang out there. Thank you guys so much for joining today's stream. Make sure that notifications are on. I won't be announcing all streams in advance as we saw with the Fuji one. Hope all of you have a gorgeous day. Patreon crew, our stream will start in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll see you guys again real soon. The Narita Express? Okay, we gotta at least wait for the Narita Express to come through, right? It's so express and so Narita. And probably so empty. Night, guys.